Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Stock Market Review. Again, my name is Coach Lord, guys. This is how you guys know me. Welcome to LUWEP Trading for another review of this market. This was an interesting day that we had today. The market actually had a bit of a rally. We're gonna get into it, see exactly what we should be expecting moving forward. What I'm gonna let you guys know right from the get-go at this point, personally, I do not trust this rally. But then again, we're gonna see exactly what's going on, see where the market might be taking us, and look at the probabilities. One thing I want to make sure I let you guys know. Nothing I see here is any suggestions for you guys to buy, hold, or sell anything. All right, what I do here is strictly for educational purposes. This is Coach Lot doing exactly what he wants to do, trying to translate what the market is telling me exactly. I'm translating that to you guys. This is candlestick pattern. Chart pattern is exactly the language of the stock market. So I'm interpreting that, letting you guys know, trying to educate you guys. But you have to do your own due diligence if you want to buy anything. And if you're not sure, you don't know how to do research, make sure to contact a financial advisor. I am not your financial advisor. What I do here is letting you guys know exactly what I'm doing and provide you guys with the highest probabilities that I am seeing and how I'm going to be trading these things. That being said, everything I do is strictly chart. There's no BS here, there's no emotions. What I do is charts. I mean, I don't know exactly where the market is going to go. I cannot tell you for certain, but what I can and always do is tell you what's the highest probability for a specific direction, right? So this is how I trade. Let's get into it, guys. The market did a bit of a rally today, which was great after a couple of days of us suffering, pretty much. But I do not trust this rally, and we're gonna get right into it. If you guys are here, just remember to drop me a like, share the video, drop me a coffee cup, whatever it is. I don't know. Just say something in the chat, right? That's good for the algorithm. That really helps me with the algorithm to push out those videos to other people. I appreciate that. What's up, Jeff? What's up, James? I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in as usual. And if just a reminder, like yesterday, I can see the total views on the videos, guys. We had over 100 views on the live, on people that watch it on replay and so on. But we only had 3 likes. We gotta get that up. If you're here, if you're watching this, make sure to get the likes up for me. All right, I would really appreciate that. All right, we're going to start with the SPY. That's what most of you guys trade today. We're gonna start exactly right there. Let me just clean up the chart so you guys could see what we are looking at. I talked to you guys about that, right? Like, hey, the highest the likeliest move is the bit of a pull to the upside, which we did. All right, we actually pulled to the upside a little bit, but what exactly did we see? If we're looking at the daily, this was almost, it was not a full inside bar, but we actually closed right inside here. So if somebody decide they want to buy, that's on them. You guys know I like to dip a little bit, just nibble a little bit at support and resistance in those days for the stock market. I did not feel comfortable getting any calls on this today. Why? What I'm looking at here, so as of right now, until anything change, this is nothing more than a bearish than a bear flag. I mean, my apologies. This is nothing more than a bear flag. All right. You guys could see this is the high of this candle. We have resistance right up there. So we would need to actually go and take out this level for me to even start having any confidence, right? We would need to do that. But even if we got a little higher, what we would really need, this is the Fibonacci retracement. Yeah, so that's technically around there, 50% retracement of the entire move. All right, so I would need things to close above this level for me to feel like, okay, maybe I can take a short little thing, not a long call, but a short little thing for a pop. All right, and right now we simply are not seeing that. That is the biggest thing for me. This is what I'm looking at. Let's take a look and see exactly how things play out. In the 4 hours, once again, we did not do as much as, well, pretty much it was like almost like a flat day. We did not do anything special. What did I show you guys last time? This was our bear flag, right? This is our bear flag. Did anything change today? No, nothing has changed today. This was just a consolidation. We are consolidating, and I simply don't like that because what I really wanted to see, if we are going to push up, what I wanted to see was this. Once we came and we find support here, was a clean push to show me who are moving up. As of right now, I do not see it. By the way, this is the 4 hour time frame. We are looking at the 4 hour. It seems like we might get that. Again, we have not crossed up yet, so there's no momentum right now to push to actually push up. We do not have the momentum. Although we are having a higher low, almost a higher low in the MACD. I can't call it the higher low since we haven't crossed up this way yet, so I cannot really call that a higher low. But as of right now, we're just building a base. This is just consolidation. We're not bouncing off and ripping. So meaning we are not seeing decisive buying. We're not seeing decisive buying. These little pushes that we're seeing, look at that. Look at these little small volume candles. That's retail traders. Retail traders saying, hey, this is support, and they come in and they bought some. That's all that is. Going the 2 hour time frame to see what we're looking like. Again, in the 2 hour time frame, we're not doing any better. As a matter of fact, I would argue that we just made a lower high, right? So that would be a lower high. Look at this trend line. From this point to that point, we actually made a lower high. Because if we are going to actually push up like this market wanted to make us stick today, I wanted to see. So this is this high. Hold on, let me get a different tool so this could be marked just a little better. There you go. So right here, I wanted to see these. You guys can see that this was a higher that was higher than this level, so that does not give me any confidence. So as of right now, what I'm looking at for going into today is possibly a lower high in the MACD and then a drop. This is what seems to be setting up, and I'm also going to show you guys what it looks like on a macro level, meaning on the daily, so you guys could see what's shaping up also in the daily. Going the in the 30 minutes to take a quick look at that. The 30 minutes looks a little better in the 30 minutes. Am I convinced? That's the thing, because I was looking at that in the 30 minutes today. I was like, okay, it's almost feel like, what we're doing here is this, right? But am I really convinced we can get that push? As of right now, I am not. I am not convinced of that push yet. I may be wrong. Again, I may be wrong, but I do not see the buy-in that I need to see. Look at the sell volume. When the selling comes in, you can, like, it's distinct. Look at those. All the high volume candles are all selling candles, and those things makes me not feel very comfortable for me to be able to go long in this market. All right. So if we go on the daily, let me just take these off and take that off. I'm even going to get rid of that. If we go on the daily, this is what we are looking at, right? So you can say we have this way down here, and bam. So this is what we're looking at as of right now. All right, and I do not like that. That's the thing. We can bring that just a little lower. You guys can see it. This is clear as day. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We are right at the neckline. All right. So right now, this level is the neckline. I mean, we can even bring that just a little lower, right? So this is the neckline. right here. This is the only thing that's holding. Only thing that's holding right now. This is the neckline. So if we lose that, we are in major trouble. Well, we might be in major trouble if we lose that. So that's precisely what I am looking at. This is why I keep telling you guys, hey, the market is giving you a chance to make sure you show up your portfolio so you don't get caught off guard. There's no being caught off guard here. If you mess with me, if you've been on this channel, all right, if you've been on this channel and you know how we've been calling things, the market is giving you hints. All right, it's okay to sacrifice a little for some insurance so you protect your capital. Why? Because we're playing defense. All right, we are playing defense. That's what we are doing right now. So let's go in the queues and see what the queues are doing. Let me just remove that. So the queues actually did a lower high. I mean, it was pretty bad, and it bounced up a little bit. But we actually did ended up in the red. I mean, from where we were, to be honest, that was a nice pullback from where we were initially, all the way down to 593, and we pulled all the way back. That was interesting to see. That was interesting to see. I would have loved to see a pin bar being done here. And for those of you guys who do not know what a pin bar is, let me just show you guys exactly what is a pin bar. Okay, so this would be a pin bar. All right, you can see it, or some people refer to it as hammer, or hammer, or whatever, or pin bar. So that's typically, let me see. I don't know if you guys can see that perfectly. Okay. If I zoom in, that still does not help you guys any. All right. So that would be a pin bar. That would have been great. Meaning this candle, we wanted to see this candle pushed all the way up and close way up there. Right? Pin bar or hammer. All right. That would have been great. But we didn't have that. And what I don't like about it is the fact that we actually close lower. And once again, these are the levels we need to get until we have taken this level right there. Let me move that up a little bit. The high of this candle, until we can actually take that, all we're doing is a bear flag. All right. So now let's dig in and see what we have exactly looking at setting up right now. Still now, all we're doing again, all we're seeing is still a right shoulder being formed for a head and shoulder pattern, and it's right there. Not complicated for you guys to see that one. All right. Not very complicated. There you go. There you go. This is it. You guys can see that. That's what that would look like. Easy head and shoulder pattern. Um, let's go on the 2 hours. See if we're doing anything better in the 2 hours. Same thing as the S&P 500. When you go in the 2 hour time frame, as a matter of fact, what we have, I mean, you can even draw that almost as a fallen wedge. That is, I guess, that's the one bit of silver lining, right? That's the one bit of silver lining. We are forming a bit of a fallen wedge. All right. Typically, a fallen wedge means we can get a bounce. More often than not, we do get a bit of a bounce. Now, can we take down this level? All right. That's gonna be tough. If you ask me, based on where we are right now, if you ask me, what is, you know what, Coach Lord, what do you think the market might do tomorrow? If you ask me, I would say this is probably tomorrow will be a down day. We might pull back up midday or whatever, but as of right now, unless things change, this is what I'm looking at. And all the market is doing, I feel like the market is setting up for Friday. That CPI number has so much riding on it on Friday. So much is riding on that because I think if CPI also comes out to show that inflation is cooling, we might actually have a nice pop. We might have a nice pop, but we would have to actually see inflation is cooling. Not only that, they cannot make those numbers look as fake as the previous numbers, because as of right now, the previous numbers look super fake. All right, they would, the way they were set up, how improbable it was for every single data point to be exactly 1/10 better. Wall Street just did not buy into it. So we would need to see CPI numbers come out, showing inflation is cooling. Maybe that would give people a bit more, just a little bit more confidence in the data and in the market itself. If we go now, we go to the 2 hour time frame. Once again, the 2 hour right here looks like he's doing the exact same thing as the SPY. Inverted head and shoulder pattern. So right here, I called it. Yesterday, I told you guys what I saw here was a head and shoulder pattern, right? So this move is pretty much done. If you take the range from here to the neckline to this, you can see this has actually fulfilled its obligation. Now, can this move be completed as well? We will see, but it seems like it's going to be a little tougher because again, we got that trend line we have to deal with. All right, that's the trend line we have to deal with, and that's what's stopping us right now. I also want to take a quick look at Bitcoin with you guys. I keep checking it. We're not gonna spend much time in it. Bitcoin is not doing anything. It's literally just staying there. That's it. This is right there. This is just a consolidation zone, all in here. And to be quite honest, I don't. Let me see if I zoom out a little bit. I'm not a big fan of what's going on right now because this is what I'm gonna show you guys, right? This is what I'm going to show you guys. Oh, right now, let's say, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. My bad, guys. My bad, guys. My bad. My bad. My bad. I was talking for a while here, and I lost you guys on that. Um, let's see. So I have to go back to Spy. That's when I was talking to you guys about Spy or the Qs. Actually, it was the Qs. I was talking to you guys about the Qs. Let me go back in the 30 minutes on the Qs since we got that a bit mixed up. So this is the falling wedge I'm looking at. That's our falling wedge pattern. So we need to see if we're going to be able to take that up. So last night, when I told you guys last night, we had that head and shoulder pattern. So that has been reconciled. This move is complete. You take the range from here to here, from there to down here. That range was completed. All right, that range is completed. Now, if you are looking at the inverted head and shoulder pattern right here, can that move be completed? I don't know. I'm as of right now, I don't feel very good about it because again, we are at the top of the wedge. So most likely path of least resistance, this is what I keep telling you guys. Probability is we're gonna head down to this level. All right. Now I'm not saying it's impossible for us to pop, right? Not saying that's impossible, but that's the most likely move. And if you look at that once again, what I don't like, the fact that we are coursing down in the 30 minutes, right? We have a course down in the 30 minutes, um, and that does not look very. Actually, it's not too bad. Maybe if we do this, this is what I would look for tomorrow. If we need to squeeze tomorrow, we would have to do something like that. So that way, we also have a bullish divergence done. All right. So that's what we are looking at right now. Let's take a quick look at BTC, guys. Quick look at BTC. Bitcoin is not really doing much. Not much going on with Bitcoin. Let's see here. Yep. Unfortunately, it seems like that bit of a possible inverted head and shoulder pattern on Bitcoin um, was canceled. I could say that was canceled because this was our shoulder. That's the left shoulder. That would have been the line. We needed to hold this line so we can have this. All right. Um, Unfortunately, we give that up. And right now, all that's holding us right now is that bit of support level. We're looking at in the 30 minutes again, bearish divergence in the MACD. Going the 2 hour time frame to see if we can have any hope, if things are looking any better for our good friend Bitcoin. Not so much. 4 hour time frame, as a matter of fact, this is not good news. In the 4 hour time frame, what we are still looking at, it seems like we are actually about to confirm this move. All right, head and shoulder pattern. This is what we have showing up again. Don't like it. And what we needed to do to see if we're not going to fall. So this is the low, right? Connect that with that. This would have been our trend line. We should have defended this trend line and we lost it. That's a 4 hour trend line. I was hoping we could defend that. By defending that, I mean, we do this, right? You come down, you hit it, you went up, come down and hit it, so that way we keep making a higher high. If we could keep making higher high, I could have seen us rallying up. But now what we just did was actually break that level. We just break it. What we need to watch for is if we do have a pullback, does it just come right back to the scene of the crime and then crash back down? Or can we actually squeeze up? Because until we reclaim this trend line, this is not good news. If you're a Bitcoin holder, man, I feel for you right now. It must be painful. It must be painful. All right. Let's take a look at the VIX and see what the VIX is doing. The VIX is being persistent, although the VIX was a bit red today, down 5%. So not a very significant number. I just did not like the fact that looking at the VIX itself, it does not seem like today phased it, right? We have this candle, but the MACD is still open, which still showing us we're most likely going to keep running up. All right, that's what I don't like. Going in the 4 hours to see what we're looking at in the 4 hours. Oh, we might have some hope. We might have some hope. So if we might do this, which would be good. That would mean the stock market could rally a little bit. But is that something that can really happen? We don't know. We don't know. But as of right now, I still don't like what the VIX is doing. Because as of right now, if we do a trend line on this, we're still holding. Yep. Actually, we're slightly below it. Actually, we're slightly below it on the 2 hours. Let me see. What about the 30 minutes? Okay, cool. The 30 minutes seems to be doing a head and shoulder pattern. That would be good for those of us looking for a squeeze. But you guys, we know how the VIX can be irrational sometimes and have these crazy pops. All right, the VIX can be very, very irrational at times. So I'm gonna put a trend line right there, and if you have that, I would encourage that you put something like that in your chart as well. And again, this is partly again why I'm telling you guys, if I had to take a probability what the stock market is going to do tomorrow, I would say the most likely option is a move down in the stock market. Why? The VIX is doing this. It's now the top of the channel, testing the bottom of the channel. So the path of least resistance, because that support level, path of least resistance would be on the way up, right? To go test that. Now, again, it is not impossible for us to drop below. It is not impossible, but all we're looking at is probabilities. We're trying to find highest probabilities of something happening and what should trigger it. So the trigger for us to squeeze is of course above this level. I'm just gonna put an outlet here because I just realized I don't have one here for me for tomorrow. So I'm just gonna put one here. All right. Now let's take a quick look at the 10-year. I know I'm with you in a lot of things here, guys. If you have any questions, don't be shy. Don't be shy, guys. Feel free to ask questions if you have questions. Um, Again, look at that. This is why I love technical analysis. Boom. Look at this. Now we just came down. and this is where we're hitting, right at this trend line. This is where we're hitting at this trend line. What's likely to happen tomorrow? A squeeze on the move up, and if the 10-year yield goes up, right? 10-year yield goes up. That's putting pressure on the stock market. That's just how this works. Now, where exactly do I see a possible opportunities? All right. So this is when I'm gonna take this a little further for you guys today. This is going to go a little further. All right. So if you're here today, congratulations, you're about to get something. You're about to get something for free right now. All right. And by free, I mean just the knowledge. Once again, I have to remind you guys, I am not your financial advisor. Nothing I say is any suggestions for you to buy, hold, or sell. This is just me letting you guys know what I will be doing. Now, I call this. I call this level on Microsoft where I told you guys I would be buying since we were consolidating right here. Because I told you guys we're doing a bear flag, right? We drop, we had the drop, consolidation, that's a bear flag, and then we drop. All right, so we are at this level right now. Let me go on the weekly so you guys could see it. You guys can see how strong that level is on Microsoft. This is literally the bottom of this. Going back to January, connecting this low with that low, right? This was my first actual low on it, and this is the second one. And you guys can see that connecting these two, that's the weekly time frame. Now, I do not plan on getting anything short term on Microsoft. Now, I haven't got into position yet. I'm still waiting. I've had a couple of people in the chart. Font, if you're watching, I'm gonna give you that shout out. Who did say, "Hey, what are we doing with Microsoft?" That was after earning when Microsoft had dropped, and I believe it dropped around here. I said, "Nah, I needed to drop a few more points." Why? Because I had my levels right. Now we are at my levels, and now it's just a matter of being that sniper and looking for that entry and getting this thing right. That's all that is. Just gotta be patient and go in. Now, does that mean absolutely I'm going to be correct on this move? No, but do I have a high probability? I would say Microsoft at this level, I'm very confident. But being down about 30%, I am very, very, very confident about an 80% probability that as long as I can time and get the correct trade on it, I'm 80%. I'm gonna make a profitable trade on that. That's where I am. That's my conviction. That again, this is what I would be doing. I want to remind you guys of that again. This is what I would be doing, and I called this. You guys can see that when I last time I reviewed that with you guys, I was telling you guys, hey, this is the length between. This is why you see this here. If you don't know, this was the way down from this level to right there. That's the first leg, and I said, okay, so if we're gonna go down, I'm going to see something like that from that same level all the way down. And that corresponds, look how beautiful that is. This corresponds to this support zone perfectly, right? Perfect support zone. That is strong structural zone. All right. Could Microsoft continue to go down? Absolutely. Was the likely for it to go down? I don't know. But what is the if I'm playing the probability game, once again, nothing is 100%. We're just playing probability games, right? The higher probability is to get a bounce, even if it's not something to an all-time high or whatever it may be. But that's where the probability lies right now on Microsoft. So that's what I meant by giving you guys something for free. So if you know how to do your own due diligence, find your entries, find your own things and whatever, that's one you can add to your list to see exactly what it is that you want to do with it. All right. Which other one did I have? I think I had one more thing for you guys. One thing I wanted to also take a look at is gold. I'm watching gold, but to be honest, guys, I don't even know if that's tradable. This is not a readable chart. in my opinion. I'm looking at that, trying to get indication of what might happen and things like that. I just cannot see it. I don't see where we go from here. Like, what do I do with this? I don't know. Which pattern is that? I have absolutely no idea what I'm looking at here. It's just almost like it's almost just dots. But just wanted to give you guys an update so you guys can see the drop we just had on gold. And this is why when I was telling people that reached out to me and say, hey, what do you think? The market seems like it's gonna drop. Should we go on gold? And I'm like, hey, we are all-time high and we just had a parabolic move right here. Don't touch it. That's what I told you, and I hope you guys did follow that when I said don't touch it, and whatever. And I haven't touched it because I was just waiting. But right now, what I'm looking at is not something I can read. I cannot read that. Going back to the Mag 7, guys, that's the Magnificent 7. That's the best companies in the stock market. That's what the Mag 7 is. If you don't know which ones they are, I could just do was trading view. No, you know what? That's the wrong thing. Anyway, the biggest stocks that's in there, those are includes like the likes of Microsoft, Alphabet, Tesla, Google, Amazon, and so on. Is the best seven stocks. I believe Netflix is also on there. Is the best seven stock in the stock market. That's what's on there. That's the Mag 7. All right, guys. Well, let me see. I think I have a question over here. How do you manage risk in this market volatility? Um, so there's two ways on managing risk. When the market is like that, there's two ways of managing risk. One, you, by no uncertain terms, you cannot be fully invested. All right, you are never ever fully invested. So let me just I'm gonna do this on this side. See if I can type. One, you can buy puts. Okay, you can buy puts on SPY, other Qs. Uh, DIA is not as volatile. So that's like the indices, right? So that's one way. If you're trading options, you can just buy puts on these things. All right? Now, number two, you can just buy volatility. Buy volatility itself, meaning the VIX. You just come in, you can buy the VIX. And there's multiple versions of the VIX. So there's the VIX, there's the VIX, you have the VIXY, and you also have the UVXY. I believe it is. All right. So you can buy either one of those. Okay. So that's one way of doing that. That's the second way of doing that. Number three, do not buy anything. I'm do not buy anything uh less than actually I'll go out 90 days. You do not buy any contracts that's less than 90 days. Now, you might ask me like why is that? Because those moves are so big, right? So when a move happens, the move is so big and so wide. If you don't have a lot of time for that stock to potentially come back, they drop so fast and so far that option is almost worthless. So that money is pretty much gone, right? So these are the things that I do, right? No contracts that's less than 90 days. So I do that. And number four, buy defensive stocks. All right. Now, what exactly do I mean by defensive stocks? Defensive stocks are the likes of consumer staples. Let's say like Walmart, Costco. You want to buy like the AT&Ts, Verizon, and things like that. So you can simply buy things like that. right? Because those stocks are not as volatile. They don't go down as much. And whenever things are tight, that's where people go. Because one thing people know, right? It doesn't matter how bad the economy is, how hard things are. People still go into Walmart to buy things because you need groceries. There's nothing you can do about that. Energy. So that's what they mean by buying defensive stocks. And number five, depending on your account size, you buy stocks with dividends. Oh, I can't spell tonight. All right. So you buy stocks that actually pays you dividends. That's something that you can do, right? If you're not familiar with dividends, if you don't know what exactly a dividend is, I'm gonna give you guys a quick example of that so you can see it. Let me make sure I can see that here. I need to go and find. Apologies, guys. I have to make sure I go find my dividends stocks. No, I have a bigger list than that. Okay, you know what? This is enough. So I'm talking about buying these things. They do not make big moves. All right, they don't make big moves. Like personally, I own this. I bought this. I'm holding that. I bought this a while back, and whatever. So what that does, every single month, for every single share you have, every single month, you get you get a 10% return on your money, right? You get a 10% return on your money. So there's a bunch of them. You're gonna have to do your own research. I'm not gonna stay on it fully. So anyway, long story short, guys, this is how I manage volatility, right? Those days. I almost forgot. I almost forgot the most important one. I almost forgot the most important one. Whenever it's things like that, if you are good at that, day trading. All right, day trading, if you're not very good at, if you don't know how to manage your account and whatever and this and that, this is what you do. You Because the market is moving so much, right? So when the market is doing that all day, right, whether it opened here, went there, went back there, if you can catch it here and sold, you don't need a whole move, and sold here, right, you just made some good money. If you can catch it here, sold there, you made some good money. So these are the six ways of making sure that you manage and get through those very volatile days, and whatever. Again, I know it's a lot easier for me to say this is how you manage things, this is how you do things, because the harder part is the execution, right? It's how do you execute on those plans. That is the harder part, because I can tell you day trading, but you don't know how to day trade. Day trading what? I don't want to get into that. This is just stock market review, but hey, this is what I also do. I do teach people how to day trade. I do have a course. If you're interested, let me know. I do teach people how to day trade. By the time you're done, you will know exactly what the stock market is. You will walk away with a trading plan. And I'm somebody who's very direct, very honest. This is not pre-recorded. My classes are live. I don't do pre-recorded classes. My classes are live because I want it to be interactive and I want you guys to learn. All right. I don't have an archive that you just go into and you watch a bunch of things and you just come and ask me questions. I'm talking about going chapter by chapter, subject by subject, and making sure that we do things. I'm giving you books. I'm also doing. I have tests to test your knowledge that I'm sending you and whatever, so you can take. And when you take them, you get the score, and you also get the feedback. Hey, you need to brush up on this, you need to study on that. You Once you take those tests, you will see the result, whether you have a pass or fail, and also will tell you which areas you need to improve. All right, and then when I meet with you, we also go through all these things again and again and again and again. All right, so that's the way it is. That's the hardest part is to really get into it. I really appreciate that question. That was a really, really good question. If anybody else have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. Actually, you know what? It's about 9:45, guys. I'm gonna have to go. those guys that are in the paid members, I will be on Teams right after this call. All right, I'm going to be on Teams. Just hop on there, ask me any questions. Let's review a couple of things and whatever, and set up for the. It's a short and week. Let's make sure we have our plan. We know exactly what we're going to do. Again, guys, thank you for tuning in. It's always love around here. I appreciate it. If you have not yet liked this the live, please drop me a like. That will really help me with the algorithm. Drop me a comment, something, I don't know, a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever it is. All right, any engagement that you can give this live is appreciated, because that will also really help me help the algorithm push it out, because the algorithm shows that, hey, maybe this guy's not just sitting here talking to a bunch of bots, right? Or it's a bunch of people that just got on, that's watching this thing. They don't really care. They just come in to give him the views or whatever, or these are paid bots watching. So if you can engage with the content, I would really appreciate that, because that would help me. That is about all I can ask you guys for. Is just as you guys keep coming here, I do appreciate the support. Thank you guys. Have a good night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Once again, tomorrow, be patient. Don't do anything crazy. I know, understand the market was up a bit today. Don't chase a rally. Be patient. Follow the process. More importantly, follow the process. It's POP every single day. That never changes. Follow your process, guys. Take care. I will see you guys tomorrow, and best of luck tomorrow trading.